Most midlife advice tells you to find your purpose. I want you to do something a little less dramatic and far more useful. I just want you to align your Monday. But here's something I want you to consider before we go anywhere. The life you're currently living was designed by a woman who no longer exists. She made reasonable choices for reasonable reasons, and at the time, those choices fit. The job, the relationship, the calendar, the way we shaped our week. The unspoken agreements about who does what and when. All of it was designed, even if nobody called it that. And it was designed by a younger version of you with a different set of priorities, a different body, a different appetite for things. So when the days start to feel a little off, just a little tight, a little not quite yours, that's not a personal failing. That's a design problem. The structure was built for somebody else, and you have quietly become somebody else. So here's what I want to do today. I want to make a small but important distinction because I think we've been sold a version of midlife that doesn't serve us anymore. You don't need a reinvention. Reinvention is a marketing word and implies that you throw a whole thing out and start over from scratch. Ideally, a new haircut, a new brand. Most women don't want that. And frankly, most women can't afford that. What you need is a redesign, some materials, same life, honest reassessment of what still fits and what doesn't across work, relationships, and the daily texture of your life. This is what we're going to talk about. What alignment really means. So let's define the word because alignment has been thoroughly drained by the meaning in the internet. People say aligned like it's a vibe. It's not a vibe. It's a structural condition. Alignment is when the way that you save your time, spend your time, your energy, and your attention is in agreement with who you are right now, not who you used to be, not who you were trained to be, not who would be the easiest in the group text. Misalignment is not dramatic. It's not always dramatic. It rarely shows up in a crisis. It usually shows up as low grade friction. The job you're still good at but no longer interested in. The relationship that runs on a script you wrote back in your 30s and just never updated it. The Tuesday that has nothing on it that actually belongs to you. The yes that was, automatic, but you really didn't want to do it. The role you've been playing for so long, you forgot it was a role. And here's the part that no one tells us. You can be doing very well by every external measure and still be deeply out of alignment. The life can look correct on the outside and feel like borrowed on the inside. That's not ingratitude. That's information. And alignment works in midlife, but it's a slow process and it's taking that information seriously. So let's get specific. There are three domains where misalignment quietly accumulates. And we're going to walk right through them right now because vague reinvention talk is exactly what we're not doing. First, when I say work, I mean however you earn, contribute, or bill, paid or unpaid, in a company, in a home, in a community. The question in midlife is not always, should I quit? Sometimes it's more often a narrower and more useful thing than that. Okay. What part of this work still uses the woman I've become? What part is muscle memory from basically a previous version of me? And where am I producing value out of habit instead of intention? Okay, listen, you don't have to blow up your career, you don't have to quit your job. You just basically have to audit it. Two is relationships. Okay, this is a big one. And I will say this plainly. Some of the relationships in your life were calibrated to a woman who needed different things. Okay, not bad people, not failed bonds, just agreements that were drafted when you were smaller, more accommodating, less sure what you actually wanted. A redesign here doesn't mean a purge. It means honesty. What relationships expand when you show up as who you are now? Which ones quietly require you to shrink back into who you used to be? And the third one is our daily life. And this is the most important one we skip because it sounds unglamorous. But this is where alignment lives or dies. The shape of your morning. What do you do with your energy at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when it dips? Whether your Wednesday has many versions of you in it, or whether it's entirely composed of obligations to other people. Daily life is not small stuff. Daily life is the stuff. Work, relationships, daily life, the three domains. You don't fix them all at once, okay? You don't need to. You just need to stop pretending the friction in any one of them is your fault for not trying harder. Okay, I want to pause here because I don't want to say this theoretically. Okay, so take one of the three domains, just one, whichever one twinged at you when I named it. Don't pick the safest one. Okay, pick the one your body answered before your mind did. Now ask yourself a question, but don't ask it too quickly. If I were honestly designing this part of my life today, where I am right now, not where I was 20 years ago, would I build it the same way it's currently built? Not, okay, I'm going to burn it all down. Not what's wrong with everyone in it. Just, would I design it this way on purpose again today? If the answer is no, or even modestly no, okay, but that's not bad news. It's not bad news, okay? That is the beginning of the actual work. That is the gap between the woman who built this life and the woman now living inside of it. And the size of that gap is exactly the size of your redesign. Okay, so how do you actually redesign your life? Now, the practical part is because I'm not going to leave you with a feeling and basically a candle, okay? Redesigning midlife does not happen in one heroic decision. It happens in small, deliberate edits made on purpose in the right order. Okay, so this is the order that I teach. Number one, name what no longer fits. Specifically, okay, not my whole life, which is melodrama, but the 7 a.m. meeting, the role I play with my sister, the Sunday that has nothing of mine in it. Specifics are workable, generalities are not. Number two, identify what misalignment is costing: energy, time, self respect, creative range, sleep, honesty. Cost makes change non negotiable. And without it, you'll keep choosing the familiar friction over the unfamiliar redesign. Number three, make one structural edit, not one motivational one, because motivation fails and it fades. But structure holds. Change the time of the meeting, renegotiate the agreement, block the morning, decline the standing thing, edit the calendar, not your mood. Number four, watch what the edit reveals. Every honest edit shows you something about the system, about the people in it, and basically about you. That information becomes the next edit. Redesign is iterative. It's not a single act of bravery. It's 100 small steps of honesty in sequence. That is the loop. Name, cost, edit, observe. Run it once in one domain. Then again, then again. In 6 months, you won't recognize the texture of your life, and not because you blew everything up, because you stopped designing for a woman who no longer lives there. And if you want the structured version of this, the actual framework on paper that you can walk through at your own pace, I built one. And I'll point it to you in a minute, okay? So here's what I want you to take with you. You're not behind, you're not lost, you're not in the middle of a crisis, you're in between drafts. The first draft is your life is closing. The next one hasn't been written yet. And the gap between the two is the most honest creative material you will ever have. So don't squander it on a reinvention fantasy. Spend it on a real redesign. Work, relationships, daily life. Audit honestly, but edit slowly. Aligned on purpose with the woman you have actually become. If something in this landed and I made something to help you, okay? It's a free 28-page ebook I call the Midlife Clarity Map, okay? It walks you through the framework I just hinted at, but it's a structured way to look at where you're at, what no longer fits, and what an honest next chapter actually looks like. It's free and it's designed for the exact season you're standing in. So you can grab it at my website. I will link it or add it somewhere down below. And until next time, stop reinventing a life that wasn't built for who you're becoming and start designing one that is. And I'll see you in the next one.